there's a
And then
line in there's a line in D3, Jen, where Charlie's hitting on a girl that he likes, and she's like, "What
uh-huh.
kind of music do you like?" And he goes, "My favorite band is Pantera." And the girl goes, "My favorite band is Pantera too." And you can just so tell that it was focus grouped to like be like, "What would a kid that age like?" Because it just comes off so unnatural. This like preppy
Yeah.
girl and like jock guy both listen to Pantera together with their fucking Dawson's Creek hair and shit. I don't buy it.
Well, he was
Not a
Dawson's
chance.
Creek.
I know he was Dawson's Creek.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The Bash Brothers maybe would have listened to Pantera, but not old CC, not Charlie
Well,
Conway.
he just said shut up.
All right.
Oh, I miss green rooming with you guys.
I know it. Okay. Telling me to shut up when I talk too much and all that. All right.
It's my favorite. Okay.
Pantera on 3.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Joke Battle, a live comedy show where you are the judge. My name is Greg Behrens. I am your host. Tonight, we have two great comics who are going to go head-to-head in 3 lightning rounds, and the winner will be decided by our internet audience. We also have a very special live studio audience joining in so that comics can get that feeling of real laughter in the room. Let's see our live studio audience. Look at them. Look at them. Make a bunch of noise, live studio audience. Yeah, there we go. We can hear all of you. Perfect. Our comics are going to take turns doing 1 minute of their favorite jokes over the course of 3 rounds. And I'm going to ask you guys to click on that little vote button down in the comments section at the end of the 3 rounds so you can vote for who you think is your favorite. We also ask you guys to leave some comments on the Facebook live stream. We'll be taking a look at those while we do the deliberation during the voting. And we'll read a few of those. And also there is a little tip jar in there if you feel so inclined as well. We'll let you know when it's time to vote. In the meantime, let's welcome tonight's 2 amazing comics. I love both of them to death. Jen O'Neill Smith and Will Foskey, everybody. All right.
What up?
Jen
what up?
and
What
Will.
up?
Good to see you guys. Very excited. So this is going to be great. You guys are going to take turns doing 1 minute of your favorite jokes each, back and forth for 3 rounds. And then when it's over, I'm going to ask the audience to decide who they thought was the funniest. You guys are friends. I think you can handle losing to one another. I think it's be okay. I think you'll be all right.
I'm going to be a baby about it.
All right. I expect it. Yeah. All right. Now, I am going to put a minute on the clock. Jen, you are going to be going first. We're going to put a minute on the clock. I will count you down. I will tell you time when your time is up. You got a minute, Jen. Go for it.
All right. So a lot of you might not know this about me, but I actually used to be really, and I used to, these are on my records. I used to listen to punk a lot when I was growing up. I still listen to punk. I still listen to it at home, and I listen to it in the car, and that's what, my kids are growing up around, and that's what they're exposed to. And the other day, my son was like, "Mommy, I love the Descendants. They're my favorite band." And I was like, "Oh my God, they are? Name one of their B-sides then." Well, then I don't know. How about maybe you just like them a lot? But how about they're not your favorite band then? All right. You see them at the Ford lot in '98 when they came with Bouncing Souls. Were you there? Because I was. and I didn't see you. So again,
Time.
sir.
All right, Jen O'Neill Smith, really ridiculing her kids. All right, so next we have Will Foskey. Will, you got a minute on the clock. Bring us some of your favorite jokes, Will. 1 minute on the clock.
All right. I was never good at one-liners, but now I don't care because I can't see you. So I'm going to do some of mine. Here we go. I grew up Catholic, and I want to. Being Catholic and having a relationship with God is a lot like if the uncle who molested you offered to pay for your college. That's the first one. You're helping me, but you did all this stuff to me. All right. Anyway, let's see. All right. My mom bought a bunch of bird feeders when I moved out of the house, so I think she was taking that whole empty nest thing a little too literally. She has 9 bird feeders, and cardinals come on my backyard all the time, and they peck at my dog's tumors when he sleeps. And finally, I think rescue dogs are a lot like halftime shows. There's always a little bit of pit bull in there.
Time. Will Foskey. All right. His birds come on his bird feeders. All right. Back to Jen O'Neill Smith. You have a minute on the clock. Jen, time for your rebuttal.
All right, rebuttal. Well, I've been spending most of the quarantine like underneath my gravity blanket, which I love. Do you guys like weighted blankets? You know what that is? They're like that have anxiety, and they feel like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders. So what they do is they take all of that weight and they put it into a blanket, and then they crush your bones with it while you sleep, and it's painful, and there is bleeding, but it also does feel like my dad's hug. You know, it's just a. You guys all know what an Irish goodbye is, right? An Irish goodbye is when you leave a party without saying goodbye to anybody, which is dope. I love an Irish goodbye, but not a lot of people know what an Italian goodbye is. An Italian goodbye is when you open mouth kiss every person in the room, and then you leave an hour and 45 minutes later. That's
time. Good note for the time. All right, Will, we're going to put another minute on the clock for you. Will Foskey.
All right. So quarantine is weird, especially if you're single, because I feel like a lot of people, they're going to have relationships that not only start in quarantine, but also end before they even have a chance to meet in person, which has got to be terrifying. Like you're at your house. How do you even prepare for that? You're at your house and your roommate's like, why are you wearing just the top half of a suit? And you're like, I have to Skype with her parents in a couple minutes and I need to make a good first impression. Then another thing to think about, right, is like it used to be that someone would complain. They'd be like, she broke up with me over the phone. Can you believe they broke up with me over the phone? But now that's like the noble and gentlemanly thing to do is to break up with somebody over the phone. Or actually, no, FaceTime is probably the way to do it but could you imagine getting dumped and you have shitty signal? You're just looking at your phone and you're like, you're cutting in and out. It's not me, it's who? All right, whatever.
Time. All right. I love how that your joke was about breaking in and out of your signal and you were doing that while you were telling it. All right, you have a minute left each. It still landed. You each have a minute left. Just remember, after this minute from each of them, you guys are going to have to click on that vote button in the comment section to decide who you thought was the funniest. Jen O'Neill Smith, this is your final minute. Make them laugh.
All right. I really do love being a mother. I do love being a mother, but I don't think I'm going to have any more kids, mostly just because I hated being pregnant so much. I hated pregnancy, especially the first 3 months. Those are the worst because that's when nobody could even tell that you're pregnant yet, but that's when you feel the shittiest. It's like having the flu every day and nobody gives a shit. So it's just a lot of walking around with this face on, why you look like that, but you're just holding in the puke and trying not to smell things. And now that I've been through it twice, I'm very sensitive to that. So if you guys ever see a girl walking around with this face on and you think to yourself like, oh my God, that girl looks like a miserable bitch, maybe be cool and ask her first if she's pregnant. I will tell you this, miserable bitches love it when strangers walk up to them and ask them if they're pregnant.
Time. Jen O'Neill Smith. Fantastic. All right. Final minute before the voting. Will Foskey, what do you got?
Well, I miss black people, Greg. I miss them a lot. I haven't seen them in forever, but I hear them every day because I live in a very black neighborhood. And one time, our neighbors behind us were during coronavirus, were having a full party in their backyard with like a DJ calling out people's birthdays and shit. And I couldn't believe it. And so I posted it and put it on my Instagram story. And people were literally responding to me and were like, "You should call the cops on them. Why didn't you call the cops?" And the answer is because white guilt is so powerful that I would rather just let that shit run its course than look like one of those barbecue Becky ladies. That's sort of how I look at it. I just let them all get coronavirus because I didn't want to look like, I believe firmly that if you should not be allowed to call the cops in the neighborhood that you're gentrifying. That should be like a rule. Like if you're gentrifying a neighborhood, you only get ambulances and fire trucks for a minimum of 12 months until you prove you can handle police responsibilities. Oh, and you get an extra 6 months added on for every stupid dog that you own. That was my big closure.
Time. All right. All right, everybody, let's hear it one more time for Will Foskey and Jen O'Neill Smith. Fantastic. Flashbang coming in here, telling some of their favorite jokes. Now, I am going to ask you to click on that little vote button down in the comment section. You will have the opportunity to pick who you want. In the meanwhile, we are going to look at a few of the comments that we've gotten from social media while you guys vote. Starting with this first one from...
Where are you voting? Where is
everybody? I couldn't hear that.
It's just the Facebook audience.
Oh, Facebook. Okay. It's not so on Facebook.
Yeah, just the Facebook audience can click on the voting icon. There's one from Weekly Martial Arts that says Will looks like his webcam is a potato.
First of all, you can go fuck yourself, Weekly Martial Arts, because if you were a true martial artist, you would know that shit never stops. That is an everyday thing, not just a once a week thing.
That's not just weekly.
Yeah, no,
all
it's
right.
every day. Fucking purple belt.
All right.
Shit.
All right. Jeremy Howard says, if she says she listens to Less Than Jake, not only will I vote for her, I'll build a statue to honor her. All right. It seems like a missed opportunity,
He's supposed to be roast.
Yeah,
these are supposed to be roast.
He's fucking husband at a Less Than Jake concert in 1996.
This dude's
out
out
there. They're not supposed to be roast.
To Less Than Jake, not only will I vote for her, I'll build a statue to honor her. All right. It seems like a missed opportunity.
So nice.
Yeah,
Jeremy read it twice. At a Less Than Jake concert in 1996.
This dude's out there. They're not supposed to be roast. To Less Than Jake, not only will I vote for her, I'll build a statue to honor her.
Make it stop.
So nice.
Bro, Greg, you're gonna miss Starbar, dude. Rodney's gonna be mad.
All right. It was on a great loop going on there.
All right.
All right, I think we're back to normal. All right, so yeah, we have another one from Weekly Martial Arts. The audience looks like a scene from The Walking Dead. They don't have to be roasts. I just want you to know they could be encouraging comments.
Yeah. Also, he's wrong. You remember that episode of The Walking Dead where they're all in these fragmented rectangles? That's a great episode.
All right, y'all, the results are in, the results of the joke battle, and it looks like Will Foskey is our winner this week. Let's hear it
Yes,
for our
sir.
champion, Will
The people's
Foskey.
champ. Let's go.
And the people's champ, Will Foskey. Great job. One more time, everybody, for Jen O'Neill Smith. Thank you so much,
Give it up for
Jen.
Jen, everybody.
Fantastic job.
Thank you,
Guys,
guys.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you keep checking out LaughingSkullLounge.com for upcoming events, the jokebattle.com to keep tabs on what we're doing. And thanks for sticking with us as we adjust the formats and times and all that stuff. You guys are great. Keep tuning in. We're going to keep bringing you all kinds of great comedy. Just make sure you leave your comments, click that tip jar. You guys are great. We love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey,
Hey, thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Yeah, thanks, man. This
yeah,
was
I
awesome.
think outside of that weird like sound spiral at the end, like it was fine. Yeah.